All right, this is DJ REM, and I have Jason from the band Emperors and Elephants on the line. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I'm just hanging out, man. How's it going with you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I don't know, we got about 8 inches of snow last night, so we're trying to unbury ourselves.
Yeah, right. Me too. I haven't looked out the window yet, but I heard it snowed pretty hard too.
So why don't you start by introducing yourself and the other members of the band that are not with us today, and then what everybody's spots are.
Right on. Well, my name's Jason Moyne. I play drums in the band Emperors and Elephants, and then we got Jesse Andrew, who's the singer of the band, and Jeff Stiff, who's our guitar player. Randy Cooper, our other guitar player, and then Ron Stoppable is our bass player. And that's it.
Okay, very good. And how long have Emperors and Elephants been around as a band?
You know, we've been around for about over 2 years now, but we've been more. This lineup's been a solid active, lineup for over a year with the 5 of us. You know, we took the first year just kind of weeding things out, writing stuff, and then we did some member changes, and this is a full solid lineup for a little over a year now.
Okay, very good. And what's going on with you guys right now? You guys have any live shows coming up?
We don't. Right now, what we did is we got signed to Pavement Records, and a few months back, and we have an album coming out January 21st. It's called Devil in the Lake. What we're doing right now is we're working with some of our management, trying to get some of our booking for shows right now. I don't really have too many shows out there booked right now. I'm just trying to push the album, and then we'll get a tour going and do the whole cycle thing that you normally do with an album. So I don't really have too many dates right now on hand, but we're getting there.
Okay, well, very good. Well, just so you know, I do have the album, and I have been playing several tracks on my radio show for the last couple weeks now. So
cool. What songs do you like?
My favorite song on the album is "Man of God." I love that track.
That's cool, man. It was really tough when we were trying to figure out what single we would do. Our first single is called "Who You Are," but "Man of God" was right there next to it, and we just didn't know how we would present ourselves because "Man of God" has I love that tune, and the whole band does too. It's got some little electronic elements to it,
Yep.
With some keyboards and stuff, and we didn't know if we wanted to present ourselves, throw ourselves out there right away with people thinking that we're an electronic band. We like to have, we play with a sequence track behind us, and there's no backing tracks of guitars or vocals or anything like that. We like to, it has different keyboard elements, just to kind of hint, and spice up some of the music. But that was a song that we all loved, but we didn't want to present ourselves. That will be our second single. If the album does good, we get a chance to put another single. "Man of God" will be the second single for sure.
Very cool. Well, I've been playing like the first 4 tracks, so they're getting a good taste of everything, just so you know.
Sweet, that's great.
But definitely. And before I forget, I want to give Shauna O'Donnell a big shout and thank you for hooking us up, because without her, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. So thanks to her.
Yeah, she's great. We've been working with her through Pavement Records, and she's been awesome. She's helping us, find booking agent and promotion. She's teaching us things that we didn't know prior to, being in the business and everything like that. So yeah, she's definitely helping us open a lot of doors.
Very good. Okay, so back when this band got together and started, what was the driving force that brought you guys together?
To get together, it's kind of funny because, I'm just a drummer. I usually, people are like, just keep them in the back. But what's kind of funny is, like, I kind of stole all the members to make this band happen, which is kind of funny. It's, I was at, like, a shitty club with a shitty PA. Everything was crappy, and I heard this kid singing. And I was like, oh, and it was a shitty band that he was with and all this. And I started hearing this guy sing, and I went closer to the stage, and this kid kept singing just freaking awesome. And I watched him for 3 or 4 songs, and I'm like, this guy's amazing. And then after the show, I approached him like, hey, man, are you ever interested in joining another band? And I actually had a couple Incubus concert tickets in my back pocket. So he always says, Jason, you would be, because I gave him these free concert tickets, and we come audition for my band. He's like, hell yeah. So that's how I got my singer, Mike. And then my bass player, Unstoppable, I saw him opening for a band at a show, and I'm just like, dude, you want to come in, check out my band? He's like, yeah, and that's kind of how we got all the members of the band.
Hey, that's cool,
like,
man.
I just kind of built it, to make my own personal favorite machine.
Right.
And Jeff Stiff's my guitar player. Him and I have been playing together forever, and he's just a writing machine. So once I got him introduced to our singer, Jesse, there's no stopping us.
Well, very cool. I love stories like that.
Cool.
It's nice. Well, it's nice to know how how the band was built, and obviously you put some time and effort into it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So, what I guess question for you? What kind of influences have you had in your life that got you into music and made you want to do something like this?
Well, my influences. I mean, I'm blah 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 years old, and when I was a kid, just Kiss. I used to sit there, just being a drummer, myself, watching kids play. And it's not even so much when Peter Criss was playing. When Eric Carr came in the band, and anyone that knows Kiss, when you saw, Creatures in the Night, and you heard Love It, I Love It Loud, fucking Eric Carr back there with those double bass drums and shit, man, dude. I don't understand why everyone isn't a drummer after seeing that goddamn video, because that was the hottest video ever. Eric Carr is the king of drums. I don't care what anyone says. That was the most badass thing that said, I want to be a goddamn drummer,
Very good.
Yeah.
So, how often do you guys get together and practice right now?
Right now, it's funny because our guitar player, Randy Cooper, he used to be in a band, Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's from Texas. So he actually, believe it or not, he lives in Texas. He drives out, comes and hangs out. We have a band house, where we all hang out and live and whatnot, and can hang out and stuff. And he comes and stays with us when we have stuff going on. So that's where I got to be kind of really, when I book shows or anything we do, like the video or photo shoots, or concerts or whatever we're doing, I try to arrange it where it's worthwhile for him to come out. And it's cool, too, because I actually got him some gigs, too, while he's out here teaching guitar and stuff like that. So we play out as much as we can, but we're also choosy on, on some gigs. I want to make everything right. Everything, is trying to get those perfect shows or, steps to an actual concert when we play out. I don't know. We practice. We don't practice. The rest of us still do get together and hang out, But whenever Randy gets in time, it's 24/7. We're all together. We're jamming as much as we can. We're all brothers, so it's cool.
Very good. Well, and I mean, you only need to practice as much as you need to,
Right. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of us been at it, a long time. So we've learned that we can practice on our own, and when we come together, I mean, we've literally have been separated for a long time, and we'll have a show and we'll come in and just kick ass.
So when you guys worked on this new album, did you just use the internet a lot? Did you send stuff back and forth?
No, when we wrote most of the album, it was pretty much done with 4 of us, with Jeff, Ron, myself, and Jesse. And then Randy came in, and he just came in and learned all our tunes. And it's really cool because, we have the 2 guitar players, Jeff and Randy. And Jeff, Randy always says, he's like, man, I came in, and Jeff just goes, here, brother, you take your solos that you want. Here's the songs, and they worked it out. It was it was a very cool thing because a lot of guitar players can be assholes and whatnot. But Jeff was so freaking cool. Just goes, dude, and he goes, I think you can probably do the solo on this one here. How about this? I'll do this, and they went back and forth, and it was just magic, man. It was so fucking cool, So yeah, I'm so happy with the way, because like I said, the album was pretty much done. Randy came in and just put that icing on the cake, and we did we ended up recording a couple extra tunes on the album, that were written, when he was around. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty much done, but it just was just that icing on the cake with Randy when he came in.
Okay, very cool. So I'm sure you get to ask this a lot, but I got to know, how'd you come up with the name for the band?
It's funny, Emperors and Elephants, the name coming up with that. When we first started, and Jeff, I think it was Jeff and Ron and I, were sitting around, and I probably just was, whatever, just like come up with something. And Jeff sat down and came with like a list of just a shit ton of names and everything. I'm like, sucks. And then I saw Emperors and Elephants. I'm like, that's fucking cool. I can design a logo with the 2 E's. It's just that basic. So it's funny because when you talk to our singer, Jesse just goes on about this elaborate thing about, well, it's the elephant in the room and the Emperor's clothing. I'm like, fuck that, man. It just looks fucking cool.
Right?
Check out the logo. It says it all, man.
That's awesome. And I actually I'm looking at the logo right now. It is very cool. I like it.
Man.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, where is a good place for people to find out more about Emperors and Elephants? What websites and social networking do you guys use?
Well, obviously, Facebook is the greatest network in the world. It can destroy you or make you, obviously, as everybody knows. But definitely check us out on Facebook. And we do got a website, emperorsandelephants.com. And it's got contact info and booking info right there, So that's the best way to get a hold of us. Or just check us out on Facebook. It's the easiest.
Okay, very good. So, you mentioned that with the new album coming out, but, I mean, besides pushing and promoting that, what are kind of your goals for the next couple of years? Where are you hoping to take this?
Well, I just want us all to have good livers and...
Yeah, right, no doubt.
And just, especially with the new year and all that, what we're trying to do is, push this new album because we're all really, really fucking proud of it. We all put a lot into it, and just tour. I mean, we want to get out there and get over to Europe, do whatever we can. Just get our name out there. Like every band. But we're doing it in smart steps. A lot of us been in bands and toured before, and we've learned a lot of lessons over the years. And with this band, we all came together. It's like, let's do everything smart. That's why we don't play out a lot and we don't do stupid stuff, whatever. It's like we're just trying to do everything's calculated risk. It's just and that's just what we're living by. So I'm hoping in the next few years, we can come out with it. I'm already looking for writing the next album. It's like I know we have to tour with this album, but I'm looking forward to the next album. I'm looking forward to writing, more because I got some really good guys in this band, and I believe in them, and I think we can even do better,
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck with all those goals, and I have to ask, what in regards to the album that's coming out, what recording studio did you guys use for this?
We used like our buddy Brad. I forgot I think it's Angry Man Studios. I feel bad because I should know that, but I think it's Angry Man Studios. And this dude, man, we literally just in his house, in his bedroom and stuff. I set up my drums, and this cat, man, just was so amazing. I mean, we're definitely going back to him. The prices were amazing. We can go in there. We went in there anytime we needed, because obviously we don't make a living off this being in this band. So
right.
had to come in after work or at night or in the morning and stuff like that. And I think it's Angry Man Studios, but I'm not 100% sure. So I feel bad, but yeah, he was awesome. It's all on our album. Buy our album. It'll give you the info.
Exactly. So, oh, geez, I just lost my. See, you've totally destroyed my brain now. Thanks a lot, man.
Sorry.
What music will I find you listening to right now? What kind of stuff are you into?
Dude, it's kind of funny because me personally, I don't listen to too much. I always got the freaking, always listen to goddamn Howard Stern, but my singer Jesse just got me into, I don't want to sound old school, he taught me what Spotify was. I'm like, holy shit, $10 a month. You can put in whatever band you want and listen to their entire catalog. So the only bands, I think I put in Typo Negative, and I'm set for a month with that. I think I put Korn and listen to everything from Korn. But there's, that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of listening to a few older bands. I don't listen to too much new stuff, and I'm very basic, and I listen to too much Howard Stern. I would say the bad thing.
Nothing wrong with listening to Stern, man. At all.
Yeah.
So, what would you define as? We've kind of already talked about this, but what would you kind of define as success for this band? I mean, what would you define as success?
Well, I can't call anything a success yet because their album hasn't been out yet, and I'm hoping that we can sell one or two copies. But a success up to now is that I got, there's these four other guys that I get to work with and write music with. I mean, technically that's it. It's a done deal. Every guy in the band, is a great musician, but everybody in the band has jobs outside of it for the band. Jeff, my guitar player, he's a great producer. He's a great writer. When him and my singer Jesse get together, I want to put them in a room. It's like, write an album tonight, and they come out
Right.
like, holy shit, what's that? Ron, our bass player, it's funny because, he's a phenomenal carpenter. That guy builds his drum risers. He's a lighting guy too. So when we do shows, he'll bring in our lights, to make us look bigger than we are. And Randy, because he was in THC and stuff, and he's just been such a good friend of mine. I mean, he's great at promoting. I mean, I'll just give him a song or a flyer. I'm like, dude, push this, and before you know it, he'll just make it global. He's got his hands in all the right, honeypots, when he's out there advertising us. So it's a good structure. So yeah, I feel that it's a success just working with these guys.
Very good. Well, I hope that things work out so you guys can just tour and do this and all that other stuff you can pay somebody to do for you.
Yeah, isn't that every band's goal?
Exactly. So, what do you do to relax when you're not playing music and working and all that other crap? What anything? You got any crazy hobbies or anything you like to do?
It's funny. Outside of me being in the band, I do laser engraving. So that's my day job, and if I work for myself, I'll do merchandise for other bands and whatnot. And that's kind of how I got into the whole music thing. Is I worked for a lot of other bands, but honestly, on my days off and stuff like that, I'm on my computer designing a new flyer, album cover, working on a video. I work for the band. That's my. I'm not gonna say the band's my hobby. That's my life, and I'll do whatever I can to promote it. But other than that, yeah, I'll just be with my girl and we'll just be watching movies. That's pretty much it. Outside of work.
No, that's good because when I ask that question, I always hope that when I ask that you give I get the answer like you said. Doing stuff for the music, that's the band and stuff. That's what I do. That's probably 95% of the answers I get too.
Yeah, because we're all working at it. There's a lot of good bands out there, and it's funny. I remember back in the day when I used to have to go to the clubs, and hand out flyers and whatnot to promote, your band and all that. And you make a stack of 100 flyers. And even before Kinko's, you had to go to the mom and pop shop and pay a nickel for each freaking flyer. And, I'd go to all the clubs, hand them out, and that was it. Now, shit, you start your own goddamn band by yourself and be up on Facebook and get 200 likes in the first day, and be promoting. So it's like, there's a lot of competition out there, but I never worry about that. It's like, what? Once you listen to our music, it's like, boom, you're either going to like it or you're not.
Right.
So. But yeah, that's definitely my off time stuff is just promoting the band and working with it. I love doing it, and I spend probably about 4 or 5 hours a day, doing some type of advertisement, working with the band, calling promoters, publicists, record label, all that stuff. They're probably sick of me, but that's what I do.
Hey, how about that? That's the same kind of stuff I do, but for bands.
There you go, man. There you go.
Talking with guys like you and talking with small labels and talking with promoters like Shauna, that's what I spend a good majority of my day when I'm not working or hanging with my kids. So I totally get it, man.
We're on the same page.
Yep. And I make just as much money at it as you, too.
Yeah, 0.
Yep, exactly. And for me personally, at this point, I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. So,
I tell you, that's the same thing, because people are like, "Oh, are you going to remember me when you become rich and famous?" I'm like, dude, the famous part would be awesome, but there ain't going to be no rich to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, that how hard rock and roll has really gotten hit, over the past 10 years, and you can't, you don't make a dime off it. You can't make a living off it. But you know what? I'm like, screw it. I'm like, it's in my blood. It's in my band's blood. We're gonna do it till the day we die, and we'll be broke when we die, but we're gonna have a big old smile on our face.
Exactly. As long as you die happy, that's all that matters.
Right.
So what? So along these lines about talking about the band and stuff, what sets and all the bands out there trying to do the same thing? What sets you guys apart? What are they going to get when they come see you guys live, and what are they going to get when they buy your music? Why should they do it?
When you get our new album that comes out January 21st, Devil Lake, Emperor Elephants, you're gonna get, it's cool, man, because we got over 10 songs on there. We even did like a remix. It's a perfect album because I got to write a full album with the guys I really enjoy working with, and there's like some songs there at the end where we brought in some piano players, and Jesse, our singer, does just some beautiful, like a beautiful ballad at the end, of the album, which is incredible. And one of the coolest things is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Chicago band back in the day. It was called Mind Bomb, and Matt Mercado was the singer of the band. He's still around, and he's a producer. And my biggest thing that I ever wanted to do is I wanted to work with him. So he is so incredible at doing remixes. He take a song and he puts it. You could take any of the remixes. I mean, I love Korn, but any of the remixes, and he'll put their stuff to shame with that. Whatever, I don't know what the DJ guy is that does all the remixes, but we took one of our songs, Which Man I Got, the song that you like. There's a remix. He took it and just kind of added just some noise and some drum loops and some samples and stuff, and he totally remixed it, which was freaking awesome. If you ever look into the band called Mind Bomb, they had one album out, and it was back in the late 90s, or early 90s, somewhere in the 90s, and I just remember seeing him, and my old band, I used to play with him, and he just blew my mind, and he's such an influence. So that's why, I don't know if I just got off the question too much here, but why I'm ecstatic about the album is because I got my band writing these killer tunes. I got one of my favorite artists in the world to do a remix on my frickin' album, and it's done deal. If I sell one copy or sell, 5,000 copies. I don't care. I got a product here that I'm so happy to be a part of. From the artwork all the way to the last song of the album. It's just a done deal. I'm happy.
Very cool. I don't think I got that when I got the music either.
I'd be happy to send you a link to all that stuff. Dude, it's badass. It'd be really good at a titty club too, man. For all the group six dance and all that, man. That's like Randy, my guitar player. He's always like, man, Jason, man, that needs to be in all titty clubs across America. Man, let's get us signed, get us big right there.
Heck yeah, no doubt. Yeah, if you can send that to me, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, right.
Especially since it's my favorite song on the album, anyway. So.
Dude, yeah, you'll dig the remix. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, is there anything else that you would like to tell everybody about Emperors and Elephants? Anything I haven't asked you? You want to make sure people know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound stupid now, going, 2014, a new year, the year of us, whatever. I don't get into that. I'm just saying, dude, our album comes out January 21st, and just, check it out first. We have a single, "Who You Are," that's going to be. It's actually on. Right now it's going to be hitting on the radio. If you dig it, then just freaking go support your local bands like us or any other local bands. Buy the damn album, check it out, and I'm just proud to be with these guys, and that's all I got. That's all I got to say. If we sell 1 or 5,000 copies, I'm going to be happy that it's just a perfect thing that I was a part of.
Very good. And yes, I will strongly encourage anybody to that listens to the interview, go to their Facebook page and check them out if you like it. Buy the tracks. If you're too poor and can't buy the tracks, come over to Rock Addict Radio and request them, and we'll play them for you. So there you go.
Right on, man.
Okay, one last thing to ask you before I let you go. I'd love a couple radio liners from you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, so the first one, you can say, this is Jason from Emperors and Elephants, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Cool. Hey, this is Jason Moit from Emperors and Elephants, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, the second one, the exact same thing, but that you're listening to metaldevastationradio.com. Okay, and then the last one for my show specifically, just same thing, but just say that you're listening to DJ REM.
REM, yeah. Hey, this is Jason from Emperors and Elephants, and you're listening to DJ REM, the only way to fucking rock.